Hey everybody! The purpose of this video is to get you some solutions to our prerequisite quiz. Just wanted to knock through each question for you. First one up is write the value of the fraction 3/7 as a decimal rounded to the nearest hundredths place. So this was just making sure that you know how to actually get precision when you needed it. Definitely accuracy if you can do it in your head, but precision. So 3/7, you can use technology to grab this pretty easily. Just simply type 3 divided by 7, hit enter. It's about 43%. So 0.43 would be your solution rounded to the nearest hundredths place as a decimal. Okay, 43% approximately, or 0.43 as a decimal. There you go for the first one. This graph we used in class, this beautiful little intersection of two lines, system of two equations. The first is very, very similar to one of the ones we did in class. Solve the equation 1 equals x plus 8 over 3. All right, 1 equals x plus 8 over 3. So there's x plus 8 over 3, but it's y equals x plus 8 over 3, which means this line is a set of all points such that if this is the x value, this is the y value once you run the x through this rule over here. So what I'm asking is, what x value, when you run that x value through the rule, generates a y value of 1? Well, the y value of 1's right here. So clearly, none of these y values of 1 over here, which correlate to these x values below them, work. You need to have the y value of 1, which appears to be this one right here, which correlates to an x value of -5. It looks like if x is -5, that means the y value is +1. Now you could of course check this mathematically if you don't believe it by running -5 plus 8 is 3 divided by 3 is 1. But the point of the graph is you don't have to be able to solve anything by hand. It comes out for you. If y is 1, if y is 1, x is -5. So the solution to this equation is x equals -5. This next guy here is a system of two equations. System of two equations simply means you've got two equations with two variables, which means you have to give me two variables, a value of x and a value of y. A value of x and a value of y. So, in other words, you have to find a place on this graph up here where on both lines the x and y values are the same. So I'm just going to grab a point over here. Here we go. Here, the x value is 4, the y value is 4. Well, if I keep going, here, good, the y value is 4 over here. Oh, crap, but the x value is -3. Well, that's no good. The y's were the same, but the x's were not. All right, we'll try it a different way. We'll go with here, x is -4. Okay, if x is -4, on this one it appears that y is about 1 1/3. And if x is -4 here, on the green line, it appears that y is about 6. Ah, crap again. The x's were the same, but the y's were different. I need a place where both the x values are the same on the curves and the y values are the same on the curves. And there's only one place that happens. Only one place that happens. That's where they intersect. They share an x value at -2, and they share a y value at +2. And that, my friends, is a solution of a system of equations. It's the intersection point, or points. Later on, we'll see that too. But you have a -2, +2. So one way to write the solution would be -2, +2. The other way to write the solution is x equals -2, y equals +2. So either as an ordered pair or as simply two little mini equations. All right, that's something you learned at some point in your algebraic lives. We'll see it again in this class. And last but not least down here, just a simple quadratic, kind of painting the picture for where we're headed next. X squared plus 1 equals 3x. And I said solve it any way you want. So rather than rehashing the quadratic formula or completing the square, well, let's do it with the graph, just like we did up here, but we've got to generate our own graph. So we will use our good friend the TI here, and we'll graph this monstrosity. So let me scroll down again so we can see the equation. There it is. So essentially what I want to do is I want to turn this bad boy on, get into the y equals editor, and I'm going to set up a system where this is the first y, x squared plus 1, and the next y is 3x. And I can hit graph, and that's not bad. The x squared plus 1 would be this parabola up here. And the 3x would be this line right here. I'm going to do a couple things, though. I'm going to change the thickness of the parabola so it looks a little bit different than there. Okay, now the parabola is thick and the line is thin. It looks like the line's hitting the parabola there and there. So I'm going to play with the window a little bit. I'm going to mess with the window. I'm going to cut off all this extraneous quadrant down here, this 4 1/3 quadrant. We don't need that. We don't need that at all. So I'm going to make the y min not -10, but 0. Press graph. That looks better. It's looking good. We also, it looks like there's an intersection here and here. This is definitely an advantage you have in Excel, like up here. Excel is just a better graphing software than the TI is. So regardless, we'll just get in here and mess with the window some more. Nothing interesting is happening over here. So I will make the x min 0, regraph it, looking good. I can see an intersection and intersection. I'll mess with it more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4? Maybe 4. I'm going to knock the x max down to 4. All right, that's a very good look. So it looks like there's an intersection there and an intersection there. So I will do second calc, intersect, first curve, second curve, find it for me. The first intersection point is 2.62 if you're going to 2 decimals. Now you don't need a y value for this one because this one doesn't have y's in it. The previous one did. This one has no y values in it though. So therefore, x squared plus 1 equals 3x. One of the solutions of that equation is x equals 2.62. The y of 7.85 simply tells you it's the same y value on both curves. Next, last but not least, I guess, would be the other intersection, which we have to scooch to find. I know I'm going fairly quickly through this, but that's because this was a huge chunk of Math 95. So it's just a rehash. If you need more practice with this, please let me know. I have a little handout that'll get you through everything I'm doing right now pretty quickly. The next intersection is at 0.38. So roughly at 0.38, you have another solution to this equation. So if you put 0.38 squared plus 1, that will be roughly the same as 3 times 0.38. So you got 2 solutions down here, 0.38 and 2.62, if I remember correctly. And that gets you a couple solutions to our prerequisite quiz. And I hope that helped. Just some skills that we'll use here and there in class. Wanted to make sure they were sharp. We'll catch you in class.